Hi students, welcome to DS Economics channel. Today we are going to discuss 2021 July Kerala set state eligibility test economics previous year question. This is your part 1. In this part we are going to discuss from question number 1 to 40 question. In 3 part we are going to cover the 2021 July Kerala set. So those who come for the first time, please subscribe to this channel for more such updates, and those who don't watch the previous Kerala set previous year question, they can watch. I have given the playlist, link of the playlist in the description box, so you click on the playlist and watch all the previous year questions of Kerala set. So let's start the video. First question is, when the angel curve is negatively sloped, the commodity is A or N, normal good, luxury good, inferior good, or necessary good. When the angel curve is negatively sloped, so when the angel curve is negatively sloped, it means the shape of the angel curve is downward sloping. Angel curve means when income falls, quantity demand for inferior good rises. So when the angel curve is negatively sloped, the commodity is inferior good, inferior or low quality good. So what is angel curve? Now, the curve shows the relationship between level of income and quantity purchase of a particular commodity. Income and quantity purchase, relationship between level of income and quantity purchase. So the angel curve given by Ernest Angel. So the angel curve, it represents a relationship between the consumer's income and the quantity of a good they purchase. So it shows how the consumption of a particular good changes as income changes. So angel curve shows how a consumption of a particular good changes as income changes, holding price constant. So it is inferior. When the angel curve is downward sloping, it is inferior, and when the angel curve is upward sloping, at the time of for normal good, angel curve is upward sloping. It means the consumption of the good increases as income increases. Income increase, consumption also increase in normal good. Then in luxury case, luxurious good, it is also upward sloping and slightly decline, because when income increases, consumption increases, but when income increases, consumption increases more than income. Quantity of when income increases, quantity of goods purchased increases more than the income. So in case of luxurious good, then inferior good, downward sloping. So the right option is option number. So question number 2. Identify the correct statement related to the new approach to consumers theory. So identify the related statement of the new approach to consumer theory. First one is, the new approach to consumer theory was pioneered by Lancaster. Yes, this is right. Lancaster given the concept of new consumer theory. This approach focuses on the idea that consumers derive utility from the characteristics or attributes of the goods rather than the goods themselves. So option number A is correct. Then option 2, a consumer demands a good because of the characteristics of the good. Yes, because of the characteristics of the good, consumer demand good. So consumers demand goods because of the characteristics. There are different kind of characteristics of goods, like quality of goods, durability of goods, taste preference of the goods. Those goods are possessed. So different according to different characteristics, goods are demand. So option B is right. Then option C, the new approach is superior to traditional consumer theory because substitute goods are explained in terms of possessing some common characteristics. So this is also right, because it new approach, it explains in terms of posing some common characteristics, such as in some respect, because it explains substitute goods in terms of common characteristics that goods share, helping to better understand consumer choice between different products. So this is also right. So according to new approach to consumer theory, it given by Lancaster, and goods are demanded according to their characteristics, then the new approach is superior than the traditional consumer theory. So A, B, C all are correct here. So A, B, C all are in the option number D. So option D is right. Then question number 3, identify the correct statements related to Arrow's impossibility theorem. First one is, it is a social choice paradox illustrating the flaws of ranked voting system. So this is correct according to Arrow's impossibility theorem. It is a social choice paradox that illustrates the flaws of the ranked voting system. It is specifically showed that no rank order voting system can satisfy a set of seemingly reasonable criteria. So this is right according to Arrow's impossibility theorem. Then second one is, it is widely used for analyzing problems in welfare economics. So it is widely used to analyze the problems in social economics. This is also correct, because it analyzed how individual preferences aggregate into collective decision, demonstrating challenges in creating fair social welfare functions. So this is also right. Then option number C, it is also known as the general impossibility theorem. So it is also called general impossibility theorem because of its broad implication of collective decision making and voting system. So it is called as general impossibility theorem. So Arrow, what says Arrow? Arrow's impossibility theorem, it is also known as the Arrow's paradox or the general impossibility theorem. It is a fundamental result in social choice theory. It is formulated by economist Kenneth Arrow in 1951. Arrow impossibility theorem given by Kenneth Arrow in 1951 in his book Social Choice and Individual Value. So the theorem states that when voters have 3 or more distinct alternatives, it is impossible to design a ranked voting system that satisfies all of the following following for fairness criteria simultaneously. So the criteria are unrestricted domain, non-dictatorship, Pareto efficiency, and then independence of irrelevant alternatives. So the theory concludes that no voting system can satisfy all of the conditions at the same time. This result reveals the inherent limitation of voting systems in aggregate individuals' preferences into a collective decision in a way that is entirely fair and rational according to the this criteria. So option C is option A, B, C all are correct according to Arrow's impossibility theorem. So option D is right. Then question number 4, Cobb-Douglas production function satisfy dash theorem. Cobb-Douglas production function satisfy dash. Euler's theorem, Hux, Cos or Arrow. So Cobb-Douglas production function, it satisfies Euler's theorem. So what is Euler's theorem? The Euler's theorem is relevant in the context of production function that exhibit constant return to scale. Euler's theorem, it represent constant return to scale. For the Cobb-Douglas production function, which is often the equation of Cobb-Douglas production function is, Cobb-Douglas production function equation is Q is equal to A L alpha into K to the power beta. So here Q means what? Q means total output, and L and K. L is labor, K is capital, alpha beta are output elasticity, and here A is constant. So the value of alpha plus beta is equal to 1. The production function exhibit constant return to scale. When alpha plus beta is equal to what? It represent constant return to scale. So according to Euler's theorem, in this case, output can be fully distributed between labor and capital based on their respective marginal products, meaning we can say Q is equal to del Q by del K into K plus del Q by del L into L. So According to Euler's theorem, it is the case the output can be fully distributed between labor and capital based on their respective marginal product. So marginal product of labor and marginal product of capital. So thus Cobb-Douglas production function satisfy Euler's theorem when there are constant return to scale. So the MRTS. So here Cobb-Douglas production function satisfy Euler's theorem, that is constant return to scale, both in Cobb-Douglas and in Euler's theorem. Then question number 5. The slope of an isoquant is called slope of an isoquant. Slope of an isoquant IQ is called MRTS, marginal rate of technical substitution. MRTS LK. So the right option is MRTS. What is MRTS represent? It represents the rate at which one input, like we can say one input labor, can be substituted for another input, that is capital, while keeping the level of output constant along an isoquant. So it reflects the trade-off between inputs in production. So we can say MRTS LK is equal to PL by PK, price of labor by price of capital. So slope of isoquant is called MRTS, and slope of indifference curve is MRS. Indifference curve slope is MRS, marginal rate of substitution between two goods, between X and Y. So when question asks for the slope of indifference curve is called MRS, and the slope of isoquant is called MRTS. Then question number 6. Matching the following list 1, list 2. Veblen effect, bandwagon effect, snob effect, demonstration effect. First one, the desire to possess a unique commodity having a prestige value. Unique commodity having a prestige value. So unique value. The question is unique commodity having a prestige value. It represents snob effect. So first one is snob effect. It is having a unique commodity having a prestige value. It creates the prestige value of a person. Then second one is abnormal market behavior, where consumers purchase the higher price goods whereas similar low price substitutes are available. So people purchase higher quality goods. At that time similar type of low price substitute goods are available, but people prefer to buy higher price goods. So when people prefer to buy higher quality or higher priced goods, it is called as Veblen effect, higher price goods, Veblen effect. Then third one is the behavior of individuals caused by observation of the actions of others and their consequences. So our behavior depend on others' action. So what others do, if others buy an iPhone, then we also buy that phone. So it is called as demonstration effect. It is called as demonstration effect. By the behavior of others we take our actions. So it is called as demonstration effect. Then fourth one, the desire or demand for a good by a person who wants to be in style because of possession of a good in fashion, and thereby many others have it. So it creates the trending, what trending in the present situation. So it creates style or fashion. So it is called as bandwagon effect. First one is Veblen effect. It is when we buy luxurious item, high price goods, Veblen effect. Then bandwagon effect, it create our style or fashion. Then snob effect, it create our prestige value, unique commodity like rare paintings, etc. Then demonstration effect, what others do, we do our action by others' behavior. So it is called as demonstration effect. So 1 to A to B4, A to B4, then C1 and D3. This is in the option number C. So 6 right option is C. Then question number 7, assertion and reason based question. Assertion is Carnot's duopoly model leads to a stable equilibrium. Carnot's duopoly model leads to a stable equilibrium. This is correct. Assertion is correct because in Carnot model both firms simultaneously choose their quantity of output and the model reaches a Nash equilibrium where neither firm has an incentive to deviate unilaterally. So Carnot's duopoly model leads to a stable equilibrium. This is right. Then reason is the behavioral pattern of the firm is naive. So behavioral pattern of the firm is naive, or we can say innocent. So this is also correct because reason is also correct. In Carnot model, each firm assumes that the other firm will keep its output constant when adjusting its own output, which is considered a naive assumption. So each firm consider or assumes that the other firm will keep its output constant. So reason is also right. So here both assertion and reason are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. No, the behavior of the pattern of the firm is naive. So this is different. This is not the reason, but the reason is correct, but this is not the reason for the stable equilibrium. So here option B is right. Both assertion and reason are correct, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion, because assertion it is related to stable equilibrium and reason is related to the behavioral pattern of the firm. So this is different concept, but according to Carnot these two are correct. So option assertion and reason are correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. So option B is right. Then question number 8, the scale of plant whose SAC, short run average cost curve, forms the minimum point of the LAC curve is called. So the minimum point of LAC, this is called as SAC. So the scale of plants whose SAC curve forms the minimum point of the LAC. So this is the SAC curve forms the minimum point of the LAC curve. This is the LMC curve. It is called as shutdown point. No, this is not shutdown point. Optimum scale of plant X efficiency break even point. Yes, it is called as optimum scale of plant because it produces at the minimum point of the LAC, minimum point of LAC. So it is called as optimum scale of plant because the optimum scale of plant, what it refers? It refers to the scale of production at which the short run average cost curve or SAC curve reaches its minimum and coincide with the minimum point of the LAC. So in this point, in E point here, LAC, minimum point of LAC and minimum of point of SAC coincide. So at this point the firm is operating at its most efficient level. The point E, this point is the most efficient level, minimizing per unit of cost in both short run as well as long run. So it is called as optimal scale of plant. So option B is right here. Then question number 9, assumption of Baumol's dynamic model include what? Baumol's dynamic model include, first one is the firm attempts to maximize the rate of growth of sales over its lifetime. This is correct according to Baumol's dynamic model. The firm attempts to maximize the rate of growth of sales over its lifetime. So this is the central to Baumol's model, which emphasizes sales growth rather than profit maximization as the firm's primary objective. So it creates this is the central of Baumol's theory, which emphasizes sales growth. So it is sales growth. Then second one is profit is the main means of financing growth of sales. This is also right because while the firms focus on sales maximization, it still needs a minimum profit to finance its expansion and satisfy shareholders. So this is also right. Then option C, demand and cost curves have the traditional shape. So this is also right according to Baumol's dynamic model, the demand curve and cost curve had traditional shape. The traditional shape of demand curve is downward sloping, and the traditional shape of cost curve. Cost curve is, we know that it is U shape cost curve. Demand curve is downward sloping, cost curve AC is U shape. So which are consistent with the standard economic theory used in this model. So option C is also right. So assumption of Baumol's dynamic model, it includes all, option A, B, C, so all of the above. Here option D is right. Then question number 10, identify the correct statement related to MRTPLK. MRTPLK. So MRTPLK, it is not I think it some mistake here. MRTP means monopoly restrictive trade practices. It is not related to labor capital, because MRTSLK, marginal rate of technical substitution between L and K, it is in the isoquant. We have discussed earlier in the previous question. So I think it's slightly mistake. MRTSLK. So MRTSLK, what it represent? It refers to the amount of labor that the firm can give up by increasing the amount of capital used by one unit, keeping other factor constant. So this is right according to MRTSLK. Then second one is, it is equal to MPL by MPK. Yes, MRTS, marginal rate of technical substitution between labor and capital, it is otherwise called as MPL by MPK, marginal product of labor by capital. Then third one, as the firms move down as isoquant, the MRTSLK increases. No, C is incorrect, because when it moves from a upper to lower point, it indicates MRTS is decreases. MRTS is decreasing, not increasing. So here option number C is generally represent decreases MRTSLK, because the marginal rate of substitution typically diminishes as more of one unit is used in place of another, not increases. So this statement is incorrect. So here option 1 and B, A and B are correct. Here according to MRTS, B is right. We know the equation of MRTSLK is equal to MPL by MPK. This is right. And option 1, this is also right, because it refers to the amount of L, labor, that the firm can give up by increasing the amount of capital used by one unit. When we use more of capital, then we have to sacrifice 1 unit of labor. So this is the ratio between the MRTSLK. So this is right. So here option A and B are correct, but option C is incorrect. So all of the above is also incorrect. So according to the question, I think there was another option, like option C, A, B, C given, like both A and B. If the option is given like both A and B, then it should be right. So here option A and B both are right. Then question number 11, Modigliani's model of limit pricing assumes that first one is, entry occurs with the minimum optimal plant size. This is right according to Modigliani limit pricing theory, because entry occurs with the minimum optimal plant size, because the model assumes that new entrants will only enter the market if they can operate at a scale where they can achieve minimum efficient scales, thus computing effectively. So option 1 is correct. Then option 2, technology is the same for all the firms in the industry. So this is also right, because the model assumes uniform technology. Technology is same for all. Uniform technology among firms, meaning that all firms have access to the same production technology. So option B is right. Then option C, the price is set by the largest firm in the industry as such a level as to prevent entry. Yes, the price set by the largest firm. The largest firm sets the price at the level low enough to deter potential entrants from the entering the market. So option C is also right here. So according to Modigliani's limit pricing assumption, all of the above are correct. So option D is right, all of the above. Then question number 12. So all of the above are correct. So basic concept of Modigliani's limit pricing theory, it assumes that which aims to explain how existing firms may set prices to prevent new competitors. So existing firms, so suppose A is the existing firm and new firm is B. So the existing firm may set prices to prevent new competitors, from entering the market. So A set the price as such that new competitors do not compete with the existing firm. So it to prevent the new competitors from entering the market, Modigliani's limit pricing theory explain. Then question number 12. In Bain's theory, the premium accruing to the established firm in an industry from charging a price higher than the pure competitive price without attracting entry, it is called as limit price, monopoly price, markup, condition of entry. It is called as limit price. So according to Bain's theory, it is called as limit price. A limit price is the price set by established firm to deter potential new entrants from the entering the market by setting a price low enough to make entry unprofitable for potential competitors, but still above the competitive level. Established firms can maintain higher prices and profits while preventing new competitors. So limit pricing is the right option. So Baines argued that price was not set at the minimum point of LAC. His explanation was that the firms deliberately set a price above minimum of LAC in order to keep the potential entrants away. So thus limit price was the highest price which the established firm believed they could charge without including entry. So according to Baines theory, it is called as limit price. Then question number 13. Unemployment due to deficiency of effective demand is called dash. Due to deficiency of effective demand. The unemployment is called frictional, structural, cyclical, or disguised. This is not frictional, because frictional means shift from one job to another job. The time between the unemployment time between the from one job to another job. So this is temporary. Then structural, the due to change in the structure of the economy. Then cyclical means due to change in the business cycle or trade cycle, business cycle of the economy. So deficiency of effective demand arises in the cyclical unemployment. Disguise, it is arises in agriculture. This is not applicable here. So cyclical unemployment occurs when there is not enough demand for goods and services in the economy. Often during a recession time, it reflects the economic downturns where overall demand is insufficient to support full employment. So in business cycle, we saw different phases like boom or peak period, then recession, then depression, then recovery, then again boom period. So at the time of recession or depression, overall economies demand decreases. So when demand decreases, employment also, production decreases. When production decreases, employment decreases. When employment decreases, it creates unemployment. So this is called as cyclical unemployment. Then question number 14. Short-run Phillips curve is vertical as there is no trade-off between inflation and unemployment, or horizontal as the unemployment rate stays more or less steady regardless of the inflation rate, or roughly L-shaped to reflect the initial inverse relation between inflation and unemployment. So here generally in the short run Phillips curve, the shape of the Phillips curve is like this, normally L shaped. It is reflect the initial inverse relationship between inflation and unemployment. So inflation and the inverse relationship between inflation and unemployment rate, it is called as Phillips curve. It is called as short run Phillips curve. But in long run Phillips curve, the shape of long run Phillips curve is vertical. So long run Phillips curve, this is long run Phillips curve, and this is short run Phillips curve. The short run Phillips curve is downward sloping L shape, and the long run Phillips curve is vertical shape. So there is no trade-off between inflation and unemployment in the long run. But question asks for short run, so the right option is option number C. Then question number 5. Question is, the relationship between unemployment and real GDP is explained by. Unemployment and real GDP relationship is called sacrifice ratio, Okun's law, Phillips curve, or quantity theory. This is called as Okun's law. What is Okun's law? Okun's law, it describes the empirical relationship between unemployment and the real GDP. It is the relationship between unemployment and real GDP. It is called as Okun's law, specifically stating that for every 1% increase in the unemployment rate, a country's GDP will typically be an additional 2% lower than its potential GDP. So this law helps to quantify the impact of unemployment on the economic output. So the what represent Okun's law? It helps to quantify the impact of unemployment on the economic output. So it is called as Okun's law. Then question number 16, the inventory approach to demand for money is associated with Keynes, Friedman, Baumol, or Tobin. Inventory approach, generally inventory approach to the demand for money, it is actually associated with Baumol. So option C is right, Baumol. So according to William Baumol, so Baumol developed the Baumol-Tobin model of transaction demand for money, which treats the demand for money similarly to an inventory problem. So it focuses on the trade-off between the opportunity cost of holding money and the transaction cost of converting money into other asset. So this is called as the inventory approach to demand. It is associated with Baumol, and so right option is W. Baumol. Then question number 17, the Mondale-Fleming model devaluation shift LM curve. In the Mondale-Fleming model, devaluation shift the LM curve to this, to the right or left. Then so according to the Mondale-Fleming model, devaluation shift the LM curve. So LM curve, what LM curve represent? LM curve means liquidity preference and money supply. Liquidity preference, money supply, it represents the relationship between the interest rate and the level of income that equates money supply and money demand. So in the Mondale-Fleming model, which is used for generally open economics under fixed and flexible exchange rate, a devaluation, or we can say depreciation, affects the IS curve. It is not related with LM curve. It affects the IS curve rather than the LM curve. So it generally Mondale-Fleming devaluation shift the IS curve, not the LM curve, because a devaluation leads to an increase in net exports by making domestic goods cheaper for foreign buyers and foreign goods more expensive for domestic consumers. So this shift increases aggregate income and output, thus shifting the IS curve to the right. So when devaluation occur, it shifts the IS curve to the right, IS1. So it shifts the IS curve, not the LM curve, but it doesn't directly affect the LM curve. So here according to Mondale-Fleming model, devaluation shifts the IS curve, not the LM curve. So LM curve is remain same. So LM curve is unchanged. Option D is right. LM curve is here IS, first IS and LM. So here LM curve is unchanged, but the shift in the IS curve, IS to IS1. So here option D is right. according to Mondale-Fleming model. Then question number 8. Question is, according to Radcliffe Committee, according to Radcliffe Committee, it is dash that influences total effective demand for goods and services rather than the supply of money. It is dash that influence the total effective demand for goods and service. It is liquidity or market price or saving rate or bank rate that influence the total effective demand. So it is the liquidity. According to Radcliffe's commentary, it is that liquidity influence total effective demand for the goods and services rather than supply of money. Liquidity influence the total effective demand. How liquidity influence the demand, effective demand? According to Radcliffe Committee, which examined the role of monetary policy and the impact of money supply on the economy, it emphasized that liquidity or the availability of liquid assets plays a more critical role in influencing effective demand and economic activity than the mere supply of money. So according to Radcliffe Committee, it is the liquidity that influences total effective demand. So here option A is right. Then question number 19. The rate at which the Reserve Bank of India borrows from the commercial banks in the country, it is known as. So this is the reverse concept. When Reserve Bank gives money to the commercial bank, it is called as repo rate, and when Reserve Bank borrow from the commercial bank, it is called the reverse repo rate, because it is the reverse concept. Here RBI, Reserve Bank of India, lends money from the commercial banks. So here RBI take money, lends money or borrow money from the commercial banks. So it is called as reverse repo rate. So when Reserve Bank of India gives money or lends money to the commercial banks, it is called as repo rate. But the reverse is when commercial banks give money to the RBI, or when RBI borrows money from the commercial bank, it is called as reverse repo rate. So option D is here. Option D is right. Then question number 20. The user cost of capital depends on the real rate of interest, rate of depreciation, and the corporate income tax. Yes, this is the right option. The user cost of capital depends on a real rate of interest, rate of depreciation, and the corporate income tax. The user cost of capital, it is the cost incurred by a firm for using capital goods. So it is calculated at the sum of real rate of interest. So real rate of interest, what it represent? It the cost of financing the capital. It is called as real rate of interest. Then rate of depreciation, it is the reduction in the value of the capital over time. It is called as depreciation. Then corporate income tax. The tax effects on the cost of capital. So together these factors determine the effective cost of using capital in production. So option A is right. According to the user cost of capital, it depends on a real rate of interest, rate of depreciation, and corporate income tax. Then question number 21. Most important feature of new Keynesian economies include. So most important feature of new Keynesian economies include. What it include? First one is sticky nominal wages. So according to new Keynesian, sticky nominal wages means wages do not adjust immediately to change in economic condition. This is right. Then second option is sticky nominal prices. So sticky nominal price, what is represent? It represent prices are slow to adjust to changes in supply and demand. This is also called correct according to Keynesian economists. Then third one, sticky real wages. No, this is incorrect according to Keynesian economists, because sticky real wages is not a primary feature of new Keynesian economies. Instead, the focus is on nominal rigidity. So sticky nominal wages is incorrect. Then option D, coordination failure. This is also included in Keynesian economics, because coordination failure, economic agents may fail to coordinate their actions effectively, leading to a suboptimal outcomes. So it is also included in Keynesian economics. So option A, B, and D all are included in Keynesian economics. A, B and D. A, B and D. This is in the option number B. So sticky real wages is not included in the Keynesian economics. Then question number 22. Question is, identify the wrong conclusion about ISLM model. So you have to identify the wrong conclusion of ISLM model. First one is, expansionary fiscal policy shift the IS curve to the right. Yes, expansionary fiscal policy shift the IS curve to the right. This is correct. Because expansionary fiscal policy like increase in government spending or reducing taxes shift the IS curve to the right, which is correct. Then option B, fiscal policy has no direct effect on the LM curve. Fiscal policy has no direct effect on the LM curve. This affects the IS curve, not LM curve, which is correct, because fiscal policy has direct effect on the IS curve, not LM curve. Then option C, monetary policy has no effect on the IS curve. Yes, monetary policy has primarily affects the LM curve, not IS curve. So monetary policy has no effect on the IS curve, it has effect on the LM curve. So option C is right. Like monetary policy, what it create? Changes in money supply, interest rate. So these are primarily affects the LM curve, not IS curve. So this is also right. Then option D, the LM curve deals with flows, not stocks. No, this is incorrect. LM curve deals with stocks. LM curve deals with stock, not flows, because it represents the equilibrium in the money market, which is based on the stock of money and the demand for money rather than flows of income. So this is incorrect according to the ISLM model. So option D is incorrect. So here right option is option number D. Then question number 23. The business sector's desired stock of capital or K-stat depends on. So desired stock of capital, it depends on expected output and user cost of capital, MPC, user cost, MPC, no. So first option is the expected output and user cost of capital. This is right according to the business sector. Desired stock of capital, it depends on expected output and user cost of capital. So what is expected output? It when businesses invest in capital, capital based on the anticipated future level of output they expect to produce, as it determines the potential returns on investment. So it depends on expected output. And second one is user cost of capital. So business sector desired stock of capital, it depends on user cost of capital. What is user cost of capital? The cost of using capital, including different types of interest rate, depreciation, taxes, affect the amount of capital business are willing to hold. So the business sectors desired stock of capital, it depends on expected output and user cost of capital. So option A is right here. Then question number 24. Question number 24. Lump sum tax multiplier is represented by lump sum tax multiplier. Multiplier by the ratio, it represented by K by H, no, 1 by K E B or 1 by 1 minus C or minus C by 1 minus C. Yes, the lump sum tax multiplier, it represented by minus C, means MPC, by 1 minus MPC. It represented by minus MPC by 1 minus MPC. Lump sum tax multiplier. What is lump sum tax multiplier? So in the context of Keynesian economics, the lump sum tax multiplier formula is derived from the overall multiplier effect, where C represents the marginal propensity to consume, and the formula reflects how changes in lump sum tax affect overall economic output. So here option D is right according to lump sum tax multiplier. Then question number 25. According to Keynes, the quantity theory of money is a truism because the theory states that. So what is quantity theory of money? States that. First one is the supply of money is assumed exogenously determined constant. No. Second one, the quantity of money paid for goods and services must equal their value. Yes, the quantity of money paid for the goods and services must be equal to their value. So this is called the quantity theory of money according to Keynes. So the Keynesian viewed the quantity theory of money as the truism because it essentially states that the total amount of money spent in economy must equal the total value of goods and services produced. So this is a tautological relationship, meaning it's true by definition and doesn't provide new insights about how changes in the money supply affect the economy. So according to quantity theory of money, according to Keynes, total quantity of money paid for goods and services must equal their value. So option B is right. Then question number 26, choose the incorrect statement related to the shape of the LM curve. We have to find out the incorrect statement according to LM curve. What is incorrect? So first one is it is flatter if the interest elasticity of demand for money is high. If the interest elasticity of demand for money is high, then it is flatter than the normal shape. Yes, this is right, because the LM curve is flatter when the interest elasticity of demand for money is high, meaning that money demand is very responsive to changes in the interest rate. So in this case, small changes in interest rate lead to significant changes in money demand, making the curve flatter. So here option A is right. Then conversely, the LM curve is steeper. When it's steeper, when the interest elastic for money demand is low, meaning when money demand is less responsive to changes in interest. Then second option, it is steep if the interest elasticity of demand for money is high. No, it is flat. So we have discussed it is flatter than before when money demand increases. So option B is incorrect. Then option C, it's shift to the right when the stock of money supply is increased. Yes, when stock of money supply increases, the LM curve shift to the right. So LM curve shift to the right. It is also right. Option C is right. Then it shift to the left if there is an increase in money demand function which raises the quantity of money demanded at the given interest rate and income level. Yes, when quantity of money demanded raises, the LM curve shift to the left. This is right. Option D is also right. So here only option B is incorrect. So incorrect statement is option B. Then question number 27, according to the permanent income hypothesis, what happened? According to permanent income hypothesis, first one is consumption expenditure is proportional to permanent income. Then second one, so first one is right, because according to permanent income hypothesis, consumption expenditure is proportional to permanent income, because individual base their consumption on their expected long term or permanent income rather than their current income. So they smooth consumption over time. So it is proportional to permanent income. Option A is right. Then option B, observed values of the aggregate income has two components such as permanent income and transitory income. So observed value, it is two components, like one is permanent income and another one is transitory. Permanent income, lifetime total income, and transitory means present income. So observed values of the aggregate income have two components, permanent and transitory. Permanent income reflects long term average income, while transitory income, it reflects the short term fluctuation that do not affect long term consumption pattern. So option B is also right. Then option C, in the long run, observed level of income is equal to permanent income. It is also right. Over time, actual income aligns more closely with permanent income as transitory components average out. So in the long term, it is average out. So option C is also right. So all of the above statement are correct according to permanent income hypothesis. Permanent income hypothesis according to Milton Friedman. Then question number 28, the algebraic sum of the deviation of 12 observations measured from 14 to 24 Thus the mean is, so the algebraic sum of the deviation of 12 observation measured from 14 to 24. So we have to calculate the, so first given the algebraic sum of the deviation of 12 observation measured from 14 to 24, so we can use the following information to determine the mean. So first let the mean of the 12 observation, the mean of the 12 observation be denoted by simply x bar mean. So the algebraic sum of the deviation from 12 is sigma xi minus 14 is equal to 24. So here this implies sigma xi, here sigma xi into plus sigma xi minus 12 into 14 is equal to what, 24. Then it represent this is equal to 24 means sigma xi is equal to 24 plus 12 into 14, because it is minus, then when it comes to right side it become plus. So sigma xi is equal to 24 plus 12 into 14. So 24 plus 12 into 14 is equal to 168. It represent 24 plus 168 is equal to 192. So sigma xi is equal to 192. So here mean x bar is equal to sigma xi by 12. So on there are 12 observation, so sigma xi by 12. So sigma xi is equal to 192 by 12. So 192 by 12 is equal to 12 ones are 12, then rest is 7, then 72, 12 6 the 72. So here 16 is the right option. So option number B is right here. Then question number 29, probability that x solves the problem is 0.4, probability that y solves is 0.7. So what is the probability that the problem is solved by at least one of them? So x solved the problem 0.4, y solved the problem 0.7. So what is the probability that the problem is solved by at least one of? So we have to find out the probability of solving at least one of them. So first calculate the probability that x doesn't solve the problem. So probability of x doesn't solve the problem is equal to, so total is 1, so 1 minus 0.4 is equal to 0.6. That x doesn't solve, x solve the problem is 0.4, then from 1 what rest, 0.6, it doesn't solve by x. Then second probability of y doesn't solve the problem is 1 minus 0.7 is equal to 0.3, because y solve the problem is 0.7, y doesn't solve the problem is 0.3, rest 0. Then we have to find out the probability that neither x nor y solve the problem. So neither x nor y solve the problem is 0.6 into 0.3 is equal to 6 3 the 18, 0.18. So probability of neither x nor y solve the problem is 0.8. Now calculate the probability that at least one of them solve the problem. So at least one of them solve the problem is equal to 1 minus 0.18, because 0.18 indicate that neither solve the problem. So probability of at least one solve is equal to 1 minus probability of neither solving the problem. So 1 minus 0.8 and 0.18. So 1 means 1.0 minus 0.18 is equal to 10 minus 8 is equal to 2. Then 9 minus 1. Rest is 9. 9 minus 1 is equal to 8. So here 0.82. So here the problem is solved by at least one of them is 0.82. But here option A is 0.28. No, this is incorrect. 0.90, this is also incorrect. 0.72, 0.55, 0.55 is incorrect. 0.72, no, answer is 0.82. Right answer is 0.82. Unfortunately, the answer here is 0.82. It is not one of the options provided. However, based on the methods, the correct probability would indeed 0.82. So we can take the nearest value 0.72 or 0.82. Actually the right option is 0.82. So here option C, when it represents 0.82 is right. So 0.82, not 0.72, 0.82. Then question number 30. Which of the following measures is least affected by extreme item? Range, standard deviation, mean deviation, quartile deviation. So range means largest minus smallest. So it affected by extreme value, because when we take largest and smallest, these are the extreme value, so it affected by extreme values. Then standard deviation, root square deviation, root mean square deviation, so it is also affected by extreme values. Then mean deviation, it is also affected by extreme values. But quartile deviation means it is the middle, when we divide the series into equal 4 parts. So quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3 and quartile 4. So it represents the average value or different quartiles. So it is not affected by the extreme value, because quartile deviation, also known as the interquartile range or quartile deviation, focus on the middle 50% of the data, specifically between the first and the third quartile, since it ignores the extreme value. So specifically it first and third quartiles data. So between the first and third quartile, since it ignores the extreme values, so or outliers in the data, so it is less affected by them. It is affected by, but comparatively less affected from range, standard deviation, mean deviation. So option D is right here, compared to the measure like range, standard deviation, even mean deviation. So the least affected by extreme values is quartile deviation. Then question number 31. The measure of kurtosis of a normal distribution is 3, 1, 0, infinite. So the measure of kurtosis, measures the tailedness of a distribution. For a normal distribution, the kurtosis value is 3, because which represent a standard level of peak and tail behavior, referred as, it is called as mesokurtic. This is platykurtic and this is called as leptokurtic. High peak is leptokurtic, medium is mesokurtic, and flatter peak is platykurtic. So leptokurtic distribution have a kurtosis greater than 3, indicating fatter tail. Then platykurtic distribution have a kurtosis less than 3, indicating thinner tail. So mesokurtic is the right option here. Mesokurtic, or when the normal distribution is 3, it is called as the measures of kurtosis for a normal distribution is 3. Then question number 32. The Durbin-Watson test is used to detect heteroscedasticity, autocorrelation, simultaneous equation bias, multicollinearity. So Durbin-Watson test is used to detect autocorrelation. So according to the question, option B is right. Durbin-Watson test used to detect autocorrelation. Then question number 33. Mean, median and mode are equal in symmetric distribution. Yes, mean, median, mode are equal in symmetric distribution when the distribution is symmetric. That is when mean is equal to median is equal to mode. So it is called as symmetric distribution. When positively skewed, when mean greater than median greater than mode, it is called as positively skewed. Negatively skewed, when mean less than median less than mode, it is called as negatively skewed. But question asks for mean, median, mode are equal, it is called as symmetrical distribution. So option A is right. Then question number 34. Probability sampling doesn't include sampling that is cluster, quota, systematic or stratified. Here if we take cluster, then systematic, then stratified. These all are types of probability sampling. Cluster sampling, it is probability based, because from cluster we select the sample. Then in systematic, it is also probability sampling. Then in stratified, we divide the whole population into different strata or group, then take sample. So this is also probability sampling. But quota sampling, it is a type of non-probability sampling. So option B is right. So quota sampling, it is a type of non-probability sampling where specific quotas are set for subgroups and participants are selected until the quotas are met, but not necessarily randomly. So therefore not all individuals in the population have a known chance of being selected in quota sampling. So it is called as non-probability sampling. So option B is right here. Then question number 35. A dash is a type of inferential statistic used to determine if there is a significant difference between the means of two groups which may be related in certain features. It is called a t-test, f-test, or a chi-square test, or none of the above. So here it is called as t-test. It is called as t-test because a t-test is a type of inferential statistic used to determine if there is a significant difference between the means of two groups which may be related in certain features like paired samples or independent groups. So it is commonly used in hypothesis testing to compare the means of two groups to assess if they are statistically different from each other. So here t-test is right. Then f-test is, it is used to compare variance between group. F-test used to compare the variance between groups. Then chi-square test, it is used to categorical data access relationship between variables. So here option A is right. Then question number 36. Arrange the following top 4 destination of India in descending order, their percentage share based on April to November 2020 figures: China, Hong Kong, UAE and USA. Top export destination. Top export destination of India, first one is USA. USA is top. We export more goods to USA. Then second one is China. First topmost destination, export destination is USA first, then second one is China, then third one is UAE, European Arab Emirates, UAE, then fourth one is Hong Kong. So 4 1 then 3 2, 4 1 3 2, option number A is right. Then question number 37. Niti Aayog's activities can be divided into following main heads except. So Niti Aayog, National Institute of Transforming India, its Niti Aayog activity can be divided into following main heads. First one is it is a design policy and program framework. This is right. It is a design policy and program framework. Then second one is amendment and implementation of horizontal devolution criteria. No, it doesn't implement horizontal devolution criteria. Niti Aayog doesn't deal with the amendment because this responsibility lies with the Finance Commission. So horizontal devolution criteria, this responsibility lies in the Finance Commission, which determines the formula for the distribution of financial resources between the center and state government. So option number B is incorrect. Then Niti Aayog, it foster cooperative federalism. It is right. Then it is a think tank and knowledge and innovation hub. Niti Aayog, it is a think tank and knowledge and innovation hub. So option A, C, D all are related with Niti Aayog, but option B is not related with Niti Aayog. So option B is right here. Then in 38, match the following list 1 and list 2. First one is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. So it provides a pension scheme for farmers aged 60 years and above, not high variety of. First one is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. It is related with provide a comprehensive risk solution at the lowest uniform premium across the country of the farmers. This is correct. So first one is correct. Second one is Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi. It provide income support to all landlords landholders, farmers, families across the country. So this is right. Then Pradhan Mantri Kisan Mandhan Yojana. So it provide high variety of seeds for the small and marginal farmers of India. No, it is incorrect, because Pradhan Mantri Kisan Mandhan Yojana, it is provide a pension scheme for farmers aged 60 and above, not high variety of seeds. So this is incorrect. Then Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, it promote organic cultivation in India. Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana promote organic cultivation. This is right. So option 3 is incorrect here. Option 1, 2 and 4 are correct. 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2, 4 are correct. So here in question number 38, C is right. C. Then question number 39, PMGKP insurance scheme was announced on 30th March 2024. So PMGKP, what is its full from? Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Package. Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Package insurance scheme was announced on 13th March 2020 for health workers fighting COVID-19. Yes, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Package insurance scheme, it was announced to for the health worker fighting COVID-19. So this scheme provided an insurance cover up to 50 lakhs to health workers. So up to 50 lakhs to health workers, including doctors, nurses and other medical professionals who were engaged in the fight against COVID-19. So it is related with COVID-19. So option A is right. Then question number 40, today's last question. DES is a national mission to improve outcomes at the elementary level through a integrated teacher training program. Integrated teacher training program at the elementary level. Diksha, Nistha, MOX or Pradhan Likhan Abhiyan. So it is related with Nistha. So Nistha's full form is National, N for National, I for Initiative for School Heads and Teachers Holistic Advancement. National Initiative for School Heads and Teacher Holistic Advancement. It is aimed at improving the quality of education by providing training to teachers and school heads to enhance their teaching skills and learning outcomes at the elementary level. So Nistha is the right option. Then what is the full form of Diksha? Diksha, it is a platform designed to provide digital resources and training materials for teachers to improve their teaching practices and learning outcomes. The full form of Diksha is Digital Infrastructure for Knowledge Sharing. Digital Infrastructure for Knowledge Sharing. Diksha. Then MOOC, Massive Open Online Course. Then Pradhan Likhan Abhiyan. Padhna Likhna Abhiyan. So here option B is right. So this is all about for the today's session. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the video, please like, and you also comment in the comment section, and you also share with your friends so that all are benefited from this video. If you come for the first time, please subscribe to this channel, and if you do not watch the previous videos, please watch the previous videos related to 𝙍𝙍𝙀. I have created a playlist. So the playlist, I have given the link of the playlist in the description box so that you can watch all the previous videos. So in the next video we are going to discuss the part 2 of 2021 July 𝙍𝙍𝙀. So thank you all. Jai Jagannath.